was these scanners. How many of you ladies have these body scanners at your gym or at your doctor's office? Now, I'm not talking about a DEXA scan. I am talking about these in-body scanners. There's all kinds of names for them. They've got all kinds of brands. If it's not a DEXA scan, I want you to stay away from it, all right? Because here's the deal. They can crush your soul, okay? They can crush your soul. Because I was talking to one of our clients on her coaching call, and she says, "Oh God, I'm going the wrong way. I'm losing muscle and I'm gaining body fat." And how can that be? And I said, "That can't be right. Where'd you get this information?" She goes, "I got an in-body scanner." And I'm like, I forget what the name of her scanner was. And those things are so inaccurate. Listen to me. It can depend on what you ate for that day. It can depend on whether you're dehydrated. It changes because your muscles might be sore, because it's not really measuring your body fat. It's not really measuring your muscle. It is measuring your water balance. And it can be way off because of it's measuring your water balance. If you have sore muscles, you're holding water in your muscles. All right. If you are used to eat low carb when you got on the machine, and now you're eating higher carb, then you know what? It's going to be jacked up. And so I have had two ladies in the last couple of weeks just have meltdowns over, oh my gosh, these scanners. And so I had the last one. I was talking to her and I said, hold on one second. And I went and got Wade and I said, Wade didn't hear this conversation. Wade, could you tell them your experience with these body scanners? And he's like, oh my gosh, the only one you can get is a DEXA scan. And listen, the DEXA scan, you get it at the doctor's office, not in the waiting room. You get it or in a room standing up. It is a machine that you lay on like you would a CAT scan, and you lay down in it and it runs over your body. That's what a DEXA scan is. And it takes pictures, and it can take pictures of your bones even to tell you your bone density. And even those can be inaccurate at sometimes, but they're the most accurate. The ones you stand on and you put your hands on these little things, or you just put your feet on, and it's supposed to tell you your body fat and your muscle density and all that. Total BS. Don't buy a scale like that. You're wasting your money. And don't go do a scale like that at your gym. It's going to upset you. All right. Because you're going to think that something is wrong when it's not. So, one of the clients I was talking to, I said, do you think that you've been losing muscle? Well, I'm getting stronger. I'm like, yeah. Do you see definition in your stomach? Yeah. I mean, you can look at her pictures and clearly see more definition. So we knew she lost body fat, and her lifting strength was way up since that scan 3 months ago. And I'm like, do you think it's possible that you, and then I went into it, how it doesn't even really measure your fat in your body. It doesn't really measure your muscle in your body, but it will tell you, here's what your percentages are, but it's a bunch of BS. It's just like this electrical water thing in your body it's measuring, and it can be way off. So ladies, stay off of them. All right. Just stay away from them. Now, if you want to go get a DEXA scan from the doctor, you can go get one of those. Wade and I have done that before, and those are really neat to see. You can look at them and tell if you've got osteoporosis. You will know if you have any visceral fat and how much visceral fat you have. Those things are really important to see and really good to see and very accurate compared to anything else. Anything else on the market, nothing is accurate. All right. So stay away from them. Got it? Everybody give me thumbs up. Oh, yeah. All right. We got it. We're going to stay off of them because I tell you, ladies, all the time, more than anything, this is a mental game more than anything, right? It's all about staying in this mentally. And I told one of the clients today, I said, I haven't stepped on the body scanner at my gym. And I'll tell you why, even though I know it's wrong. I haven't stepped on it because I'm trying to keep my head in the game. Because even I am going to be tempted to think about that. And oh my God, I wonder what my body fat really is. I know that's off, but what if it is really that high? And all these kind of things, you second guess yourself, I don't even do it. That's why I quit stepping on the scale every day. Some of you ladies step on the scale every single day. And I have done it.
Every day.
And I've told you about it. I have done it, ladies. And I will tell you, you got to stop. Because here's the thing, the scale will go up and down 2 to 3 pounds. And that's just how it works. It can be whether your muscles are sore, whether you're dehydrated or not dehydrated, all the different things can cause that scale. Hormone balances moving around, all those things can cause you issues. So when you weigh every day, you're really taking a huge chance of getting your head out of the game. You got to keep your head in the game. You know, I am not a huge golf fan. I didn't grow up watching golf. No one in my family golfed, so I don't know much about golf. But when I married Wade, I started watching a little bit of golf because he loves golf. And he's a Tiger Woods fan all the way. And he has watched Tiger for years and years. And I heard the commentators on golf talking about so and so, how they play. And that when under pressure, this person under pressure doesn't do well. And this person under pressure does well. And it was like they were talking about this head game that these golfers have, and that it ruins their game a lot of times. Some it makes better, some it makes worse. And even in golf, basketball, any kind of sport, it's a head game. When you go to work out, it's a head game. I remember, and I've told you guys this before, I felt so weak. And I remember looking at Wade and I said, I just feel so weak today. And he said, Allie, you're not weak, you're strong. And I said, I just feel like I can't do this weight today, you know, that I normally do all the time. He goes, okay, I want you to not look at how much weight you're doing. And I was on a Smith machine. And he said, I want you to not look. He made me I was in Planet Fitness, and he said, turn away from the mirror, because I was facing the mirror. He made me turn the other way on the Smith machine. And he said, we're going to just see where you're at strength wise. I said, are you going to put a real heavy weights on there? He goes, you don't worry about it. I might go light, I might go heavy. We're just going to really see where you are. Okay. So I was like, okay. And so he goes, all right, I want you to do it. And it felt pretty light to me. He goes, okay, I'm just going to put a little bit more on there. All right. You got it? You got it? And I was like, yeah. And he would scream at me, go, Allie, come on, push, fight for it. You're not supposed to do that in Planet Fitness. You'll get the lunk alarm. Somebody will throw you out. They don't really though. And so he's saying that. And I'm like, okay, push it up. And he's like, good. You're not as weak as you thought. You're pretty strong. You're feeling pretty strong today. Did that feel heavy? I was like, it didn't feel too bad. It felt a little heavy, but not too bad. All right, let's put a little bit more weight on, just a little bit more. See what you got. He put it on. And then finally he goes, all right, go, Allie, go. Come on, Allie, push. And I'm like, I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can. He goes, you've done this before. And when he said that, I'm like, oh, I've done this before. And he really wasn't saying my weight. It's just I've squatted before. Because I told him later, you lied to me. He goes, I didn't say you were doing this weight before. I said, you've done this before. He goes, you interpreted it as you were doing this weight before. And what I was doing is I pushed the heaviest squat I had ever done to that point. And he goes, stop. I want you to come here and look this weight. And I said, that looks like a lot of weight. He goes, Allie, count it up. It was 270-pound squat on my weakest day. I had never in my lifetime done a 270-pound squat. I think the highest I'd ever gone is 225, and I hit 270. And I only hit 225 a couple times. It's a head game. We always think that we're weaker than we are. We always think our body is not going to change. All these things. If you ask me, I would tell you, I would have never thought I would be right where I am today. I never would have expected it. Never would have thought it. What got me here was keeping my head in the game. I always talk about Michael Jordan because I never watched basketball until I watched Michael Jordan. Something, I guess, news clips came across or something about him. And, you know, he was amazing to watch. And my then husband, my ex-husband, was working night shift. And these games would come on towards the evening or when he was working, worked a lot of overtime. And I thought, I just started watching basketball. Michael Jordan. Oh my gosh. I would get up screaming at that TV. I would, oh my gosh. Like he would just, oh my gosh, one after the next, just lay him up and just the most amazing shots. And it just went through my veins. And he talked about how that he had to practice and practice and practice. And everyone told him he wasn't good enough and he wasn't going to make it. He didn't make his team. He was told, he wasn't very good. I don't know if you guys know that. And so Michael Jordan had to raise the bar for himself, and he would practice at night when it was dark. And his dad would finally say, come on in here. You got to come in the house. And he would just spend more and more time. And he said, it didn't matter who was on my team. I was responsible to win. I couldn't say, well, we lost because so-and-so didn't play his part or because so-and-so didn't pull his weight. He said, it was on me. I had to go above and beyond. I had to win. I had to keep my head in the game. When the score was down, I had to bring my game at all times. I had to season myself and say, I'm good enough. I had to tell myself I'm good enough. I had to believe in myself when no one else believed in me. See, that's how he won and became, in my opinion, the best basketball player of all time. He inspires me so much. And I will tell you this, it's a head game for you too. It's a head game for you too. All right? When you think you can't, when you're looking at those numbers and that food tracking, you're going, Allie, I'm just so busy. I'm a lawyer. I'm a doctor. There are lawyers and doctors right here in this program. There's EMT staff. There's, there's all kinds of people that are so busy right here. So entrepreneurs, CEOs of businesses right here at Bod Babes with every excuse not to make it, not to be able to control their diet. We have some people who own one of Wade's clients, whose wife is also here, owns three businesses, three franchises. And you want to talk about busy. And I want to tell you something, ladies. Wade said something to him that is so true. He's so busy. He works so many hours. He has 3 franchises. And he has been sitting behind his desk and on the phone and doing all the stuff that he has to do. And he's very successful at what he does. And ladies, Wade said this to him on the phone. He said, I'm going to start. And he didn't start. He said, I'm going to start. And then he didn't start. I don't know if I can come for personal training. And he was making every logical reason why, and it was logical, why he could not take care of his body. And Wade said to him this, you are not successful if you're letting your health go and you have successful businesses. You're building successful businesses at the expense of your health. You cannot do that. You have to make time for the gym. When you say you're going to be here, you be here. You tell everybody, this is the time that I go to the gym. This is on my schedule, and I will be going to the gym. If there's an emergency, you're going to have to contact someone else. You're going to have to take care of it because I am going to do this. It's a priority in my life. This is what I do. A fit person does this, and I am a fit person. I am not living like an unfit person. I am doing what I want. I am becoming who I want to be. And that's what I want to tell you ladies tonight. When you're a doctor and you have a baby, like one of our clients, she's a doctor living in Australia. She has a child, a little 1.5 or 2-year-old, something like that. She makes no excuses. She has hard days. I'm going to tell you. And she makes no excuses. She has to keep her head in the game. Now, that's a battle for her, too.
You got 4 bankrupts in a row.
You know that?
Oh my gosh, you're kidding me.
Let me mute this. Hold on one second. All right. Sorry, guys. So listen, you've got to keep your head in the game too. If you want to get to your goal, I've got a lawyer here, and she even works in the evenings, and she brings her work home on the weekends. And I told her the same thing. Successful. If I would mention where she works, everybody here would know, would know. Everybody on this Zoom tonight would know. She has every reason to not be successful with her food. And I find her being successful. She has made a decision to change her life, and it's amazing to watch. And you know who you are, and I know you're going to be watching this video, and I don't know if you're on here tonight, but I know you watch this video because you do. But I will tell you, I'm proud of you, and I hope you hear me when I say that. I am very proud of you because you're stepping up to change your life. And that's what I see so many of you doing. And to win at this ladies, it's a head game. There's another lady on here that thinks that she's been through heck like most of us over the last few years, and she wants to build muscle. And it's hard to build muscle. It's a challenge. You got to challenge yourself to build muscle. And she wonders and second guesses if she could do it because we always feel like we're too old or something like that. And I want to tell you right here in front of everybody, I thought the same thing. Yes, I was younger than you. But you know what? You're not that far ahead of me in age. So keep fighting. Keep your head in the game. It's about consistency. You can do it. I have a client that came on today. She's 76 years old. 76. And she dealt with cancer in the past. And she come on, and you want to talk about a fun lady. Oh my gosh, so fun. And I'm so excited to see her build muscle. She too wants to build muscle. There is a lady out there, her name is Joan. Train with Joan. If you have Instagram, go look at it. Joan started at 71. So when you ladies think that you can't do it, go look at the Instagram page, Train with Joan. As a matter of fact, I might just post her video when I post this online for you all to watch later because she got fit. She got fit after the age of 70. And she was getting ready to go into a nursing home. And her daughter, who's into fitness and who is amazing, she's a coach, and she said, Mom, you're going to have to change the way you eat and start working out. I don't want you to go into a home. I don't want you to go into a nursing home. I don't know if I said nursing home earlier or retirement home, but it's nursing home. I don't want you to have to go into a nursing home. I want you to be strong and healthy. I want you to fight for your health. And she shows herself on video when she began to try to do a leg press, to try to do a squat. She couldn't do any of it. It was very hard for her. And she shows videos of herself at 71, and she's pushing and fighting. And you should see this lady now. It is so awesome to see. Oh my gosh. She wears short sleeve shirts, and you could just see the muscles in her arms. It's awesome to see. She'll show herself doing hip thrusts and squats, and she was doing splits, everything. It's really neat to see. So you know how she won? What if she would have said, I'm just too old? What would have happened? She would have never been where she is now. Our minds try to tell us, our minds try to protect us from things that might harm us. And so we're like, oh, that's not going to work for me. That I could get hurt. I had a client came on, she was 51 years old. And I gave her, many of you have done the Iron series with Caroline Girvan or Girvan, whatever it is. And this lady told me she was too old to do the 51-year-old because she was a 51-year-old and she was too old to do Caroline Girvan's workouts. And I was like, what? She goes, I'm just too old to do that stuff. And she wasn't obese or anything. I was like, oh my gosh, you are not too old. She goes, I am too old. I need something that's appropriate for my age. And I'm sitting over there, guys, and I'm headed for 400-pound squats right now. And I'm just sitting there going, okay, wow, that is your brain power at work there. It's not at work. It's fighting against you. So tonight, when we make all the excuses, and we have been, I want you to look back to the beginning of the year and the excuses that we have made. Those excuses can be very valid. Excuses like, I don't have enough time, they can be very valid. Just like I was talking about those clients that say that to me, and they are very successful company owners and lawyers and doctors and EMT staff. They're very busy. And they have every right to say, I'm too busy. But you know what? But that isn't correct. They are not. When you say I'm too busy, you're saying it's not my priority to be healthy. It should be your number one priority. How did it ever get backwards? How could a doctor ever say, I don't have time for my health? Sounds ludicrous, right? It's a mental game, ladies and gentlemen. I see a lot of you ladies here walking right now, and I am so proud of you. I see you walking pads. It's cold outside, and there you are. Some of you eating your dinner, eating your healthy dinner. Some of you just sitting there and just listening. I'm so proud of you. But I want you to get out of your own way. Have you ever heard that before? I got to get out of my own way. I got to quit telling myself I can't. And I have to realize that this has to be a priority. That I don't want to stay where I was. I've tried that life, and that's why I came to Bod Babes. And now I'm saying it's too hard for me to move forward. I don't want that. That's hard. But I don't want to do this because this is hard. So which one do you want? You get to choose your heart. And it's really just the truth. And it's all a head game. And you have to make your health a priority. I said it last week, and I'm going to say it one more time this week. The biggest and most valuable gift you've ever been given is your life. And we put our health, which is our life, on the back burner for everything. I hate to cook. Well, I hate to cook too, and I don't do much of it. A lot of times I have a rotisserie chicken. I made chili last night. Did you know you can make chili in 20 minutes and it can hit your goals? Did you know that? High protein chili, pound of beef, can of beans, can of tomatoes, and some tomato juice. You put the ground beef in there or the turkey, ground turkey. My calories are higher than yours probably right now. Ground turkey, put it in there. Brown it. Can of beans, don't even drain it. Can of tomatoes, don't even drain it. Put it in there, and then put you some seasoning, chili seasoning in there. You're good to go. 20 minutes later, you've got a meal. I guarantee you, it's going to taste good. I love chili. You want crackers in it? Get you some high protein crackers. Pure One has some high protein crackers. Quest has some protein crackers. Put those things on top, and you want to talk about easy? That's easy, girls. Rotisserie chicken and some bread. Don't tell me you don't have time for it. Don't tell me you don't have time to boil some noodles, high protein noodles. Open a can of spaghetti sauce, not spaghetti sauce, but marinara with no sugar in it. Find your brand with no sugar in it. Heck, if you don't have time to go to the grocery store, order it online and have them deliver it to your door. There's no excuse because it's your health. Now, come on now. Fight for you. If you go out to eat, choose the right stuff. Choose the right stuff. One trick that I learned is go out to eat, and I ordered can't think of the place, Chipotle. I like to go to Chipotle and I will get white rice, small portion of it. I'll tell them half a portion of rice and I will get double meat. I'll get steak and I'll get double steak on there, or you can get double chicken, whatever, double meat. And I'm gonna tell you, you can do things like that and hit your goals. Be careful with the rice, it's a lot of calories. Be careful with the guacamole, it's a lot of calories, right? Be careful with the cheeses, a lot of calories, okay? But I like the rice and some meat. I'll put the sour cream has a lot of calories. If you have some, have very little. Ask them if they can put it on the side. You control it. All right. But it's better not to have one. It's so tasty. You know, put the tomato stuff on there, all that stuff, all the greens, put it on there, except the avocado. Be careful, high calories. Know what you're doing before you go. Don't just go to the restaurant and then go, well, crap, I don't know what I'm going to do now. Look at the menu, even if you got to sit in the car for a minute, and it's all a head game. I don't know what to do when I get in there. That's because you didn't prepare. You're smarter than that. Prepare. Go in prepared. All right. Now, if your boss is taking you out and you don't know where you're going, that's a different story. Go in the bathroom and call me on the phone if you got to. I had a lady call me from a Mexican restaurant. I don't know what the heck I'm going to eat at the stupid restaurant. Like, okay, let's figure it out. You know what she ate? She ate grilled chicken. She ate all the salsa that she wanted. She had a little bit of her rice. She had white rice instead of fried rice, right? And what else did she have? She had some, not guacamole, but she's had them cut up some avocado. You could have had the guacamole, just don't have a huge portion of it. And she said it was delicious. Oh, she had grilled pineapple on top. Delicious. If you've never had grilled chicken with grilled pineapple on top, you're missing it, girls. It's delicious. And so that's what she had in a Mexican restaurant. She didn't eat any of the chips. So proud of her for not doing that. I told her next time have some, you know, high protein crackers or high protein chips in her car. She'd just grab them and take them in and be like everybody else and just use those. And she said she would. She didn't have margarita. Good for her. So listen, it's a head game. And when you're building these habits, I'm going to tell you again, when you're building these habits, they're hard to build. It requires extra thought. And you have to assess where you're messing up and what's causing the problems. It's some work. But when it becomes your habit, it becomes easy. I don't, you know, I told somebody today, I used to have pizza every Friday and sometimes 2 times a week, right? Sometimes probably more, to be honest, if I think about it, at least every Friday. And I'll tell you what, that was my thing. And I said, it's so funny because she brought up pizza. She walked in, she's a nurse, and she walked in and she said in the cafeteria they had pizza. She said, I'm not talking the crappy kind. She said, I'm talking about the really good kind.
Yeah,
And she
हम
said,
कम्बल ही
I
करते हैं
was so tempted to
गराज खुला
eat.
छड़ता गराज खुला सी
Hold on. All
आना
right.
आई है नहीं
Hold
खुला
on.
सी
Sorry, guys. And she said, and so I said, you know what? She said, I'm getting out of here. I got to get out of here because I'm not eating this pizza. And I was so proud of her. And I said, you know what? I haven't had pizza in a long time. I don't even think about it. And I said, you know why? Because when your habits change, it isn't even in your thoughts. I have to think differently now. And your thoughts will change too. And your habits will change your life. And while you're building those habits, they're hard to build. But keep your head in the game. You are a winner and you can do this. You've done much harder things than this. Believe in yourself. You're not weak. You're strong. And you're so much stronger than you give yourself credit for. And it's time to quit getting in your own way. It's time to get out of your way and be the person that you want to be. So much of our life is gone. So much of it, ladies, is gone. Well, years we'll never get back. You know, Wade has this thing where he put the years that women and men live on average. And I think it's 74 or something like that for a woman, average age. I'm 57. I'll be 58 this year. And I might live older than that. I hope so. But that's the average age of a woman in America when she dies, leaves this earth. So if I'm 57, 67, 77, that's not even 20 years I got left. If I live to the average age, I've lived 57. Almost all of my, how much of my life is behind me if I only live to 70 something? Most of it, right? Most of it. And boy, that's sad to think about. But you know what? I want to be my best self. Something about the age of 50, 51 made me wake up and say, I'm tired of being afraid to be the best me. I'm tired of not believing in myself anymore. I'm tired of telling myself I can't. What if I could? What if I can? Why am I limiting myself? Am I limiting myself? Or is these things I tell myself really true, that I can't do it? That I don't have the time to do it? That I'm not strong enough to do it? That there's something wrong with my body and I can't? We see women in our groups right now. We just had a lady walk 30,000 steps, over 30,000 steps in a day. I kid you not. And I won't tell you her background because it's not my place. But the woman has gone through some things in the last year that would stop anybody in their tracks and say, I can't. Before we go, I want to tell you one more story. There's a lady that was on here, on our program. Her name was Marilee King, and she's coming back. Okay? Marilee King. She was on the side of a road because she had a flat tire. She had her granddaughter in the back. This is before she came on at Bod Babes. Had her granddaughter in the back seat. She got out of her driver's side to go walk around the back and see the tire, and a truck hits her. It runs her over. She was in the hospital for 3 months. She died, and they brought her back, and they told her she would never, ever walk again. Marilee will give all the credit to God, and she will tell you it was just God. I will tell her, oh my God, Marilee, they removed muscles from her legs. I'm talking about the big muscles, the top of your legs, huge portion of her leg. I think it was her left leg. And they told her she'd never walk again. And she said, as soon as they said it, she said, I said no. She was obese, over 100 pounds overweight. And she said, no, I'm not going to live this life. I'm not going to be in a wheelchair for the rest of my life. And I am not going to live this life. I'm going to lose this weight, and I am going to walk again. She had bariatric surgery. She lost part of the weight. She could not lose the rest. She came on at Bod Babes, and she began to fight for herself. She joined walking challenges like the one we have going on right now. And out of every woman, every single woman at Bod Babes, including the women on the challenge, all of the women, those who were on the challenge and not, this lady who was hit by a truck had half of her muscle on her leg removed and was told she would maybe not live, and she died, and she was told she would never walk again. She outwalked everyone, every day. 15,000, 20,000 steps every single day, sometimes more than 20,000 steps. She was the head of nursing at the hospital. She also had every reason that she couldn't do it, because she wasn't even like the other nurses. She had to sit at her desk a lot. And she said, you know what? When someone looks you in the face and you have died and brought you back, and they tell you you'll never walk again, she said, you either lay down and die or you stand up and fight. And what I'm asking you today is, don't lay down on yourself anymore. Stand up and fight. Fight for yourself. Fight to win. Believe in yourself. Push yourself. It doesn't matter our age. It doesn't matter if we failed in the past. It doesn't matter. Make yourself a priority and get it done, ladies. Because here's the thing. It's time for us to leave that old hard life, that the old us behind, and to be our best selves. It's time to be our best selves. And you know where it starts? Right here. And this thing right here will defeat you. It will tell you you can't in all the ways. I don't have enough time. I'm not strong enough. I can't do it. I don't have time to cook. I don't like to cook. I just can't. I can't. You're not strong enough. You're weak. You're not strong enough for this. Some of those ladies are walking 20,000 steps. Some of them 30,000 steps. You'll never do that. You might as well just give up. Just quit. Some of you done checked out on the walking challenge because somebody was walking more steps than you can walk. So you done checked out on yourself because I can't walk that many steps. Keep walking. Quit checking out on yourself. Keep walking. Quit giving up on yourself. Believe in yourself. So what if somebody does more steps than you? Somebody gets up farther ahead in life than us, and we're just going to say, I can't do that. Quit doing it. I've done that my whole life too. Quit it. You're better than that. Just like Marilee said, you're either going to lay down on yourself or you're going to stand up and fight for yourself. Which one are you going to do? It's time to fight. Get up and let's go. No more excuses. Get your head in the game. And those things that cause your head to get out of the game, like stepping on the damn scale every week and every day, whatever it is that causes you to get your head out of the game, some of you aren't stepping on the scale because you don't want to know where you are. You don't want to know. You don't want to face the truth. And some of you are stepping on the scale every day and you're killing yourself with it. Find what works for you and do it. If you're not stepping on the scale because you don't want to know where you are, you need to know where you are. Because you cannot manage what you can't measure. If you don't know where you are, then you can't move forward. You don't know. But you know what? And if you're stepping on the scale every day and it's your kryptonite, it causes you to want to give up and quit because it's not moving fast enough, stop it. Stop. Know what causes you to fail and quit. I'm way over, ladies. I'm hard. I'm being a little hard. Sometimes we need hard. We need it a lot of times. All right, believe in yourself, fight. Get this right here in order. When you tell yourself you can't, I want you to say, I can. I will figure out how I can. Whether it's having meals delivered to my door, whether it's having somebody bring me my food from over town. They do that now. How crazy is that? They're going to pick up your food and bring it to your house. You can order your groceries online, they're going to bring it to your house. We got no excuses anymore. We don't. Because here's what, you're worth it. Go out of this life, whether how much, if we've got 30 years, 20 years, 5 years, 2 years left, I want to go out being my best self. I'm tired of laying down on myself. I'm tired of eking out and saying I can't, never being good enough. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to shine. I don't care if they say, did you know how old you are? Yeah, I do know how old I am. And I know what I've walked through. And I'm going to shine no matter how it makes you feel. Because this ain't about you. You ain't even going to be at my funeral. Because you ain't going to remember me 2 weeks after I'm dead. So why does your opinion matter to me? So guess what? I'm just going to be over here shining until I leave this place. I want to shine. Shine, ladies. Be your best. Get the crap out of your life that takes and just pushes you down. Get it out. The crap that makes you feel less and you can't and you're not good enough, get it out of your life. Get it out of your head. Get it out. You've beat yourself up enough. I told another lady today on a coaching call, it's time for you to quit beating yourself up. You don't deserve that. She's doing great and telling herself she knows she needs to step up her game. I said, you know what? Your game is incredible. You should be patting yourself on the back. You should be telling yourself how great you are. I look in the mirror and it's just not good. You know what? Shut up. Look at you. I want you to step back and look at yourself again. And I want you to think differently. Your husband tells you you're absolutely beautiful. And I'm telling you, you're doing a great job, and you're telling me how awful you are. Quit beating yourself up. You don't deserve being beat up. You deserve being praised. And it's time for you to praise yourself. Some of us don't know how to praise ourselves. It's time for you to let go of the beating up. Quit beating yourself up. Start patting yourself on the back and telling yourself, great job. Some of you ladies have come out of some stuff. Most of us have. Start patting yourself on the back and tell you, look what I did. I survived rape. I was an abused kid. I quit drinking. I quit cigarettes. All those things I did. I raised kids. This belly that people might think looks big, guess what? It's had babies. And I love those babies. I brought forth miracles. I've been through hell. I've been through an abusive relationship. And I survived. And I'm on the other side of it. And I like who I am now. And next time around, I'm going to choose somebody that's worthy of my attention and that treats me right. Ladies, you're good. You're amazing. You need to, you know what? Here's what I'm going to let you go. And I keep trying to let you go, but I want you to write down at least 5 things. And I'm not talking little things. I'm not talking like, well, I liked my hair today. I want you to write down 5 things that that you believe make you a really great person, that make you unique or beautiful, or that you're just really proud of. Something that you've done, or some character of yours. Things that you survived and you came out of and you overcame. Some of us were abused kids that came out and were really amazing moms. You know? So I love you. It's time to celebrate yourself. It's time to believe in yourself. It's time to get out of your own way. Time to get out of your own way. And it's time to push yourself because you deserve it. And we need to be our best selves. When we go out of this, you know, whenever I went through all these changes and I left my ex-husband and I walked away and had nothing. I was 51 years old. I had nothing. I didn't have a pillow. I didn't own a washcloth. I didn't own a car. I had some clothes and a hair dryer and a curling iron. And not even all my clothes. And a borrowed car. I borrowed my son's car. And the reason I left my marriage is because I was sitting beside my husband, who was an alcoholic. Our relationship, we got married because I was pregnant when I was 19 years old. And you know what? I was drinking sitting beside him on the bed as he played video games, and he was drunk, watching TV at the same time while I played video games. And I hated my life. And I sat there and I was drinking whiskey, and I was probably getting dizzy, the spins, and I closed my eyes and I saw myself dying when I'm old in a nursing home. And it was like I saw a vision of myself and I had all these regrets. I kid you not. I was pretty drunk, I guess. And I saw myself just going out of this life, just sad and alone and just full of regrets. And do you know that I left my husband the next week? And I said, I'm done. I'm done being a failure. I'm done not taking care of my health. I'm done not taking care of loving my children like I should. I'm not loving myself like I should. I am not getting the love from a man that I should have. I'm not in a relationship that I want to be in. Financially failing, failing as a mother, failing as a wife. I felt like I was failing in my health. I was failing in every area of my life. And I walked away from it all. And you want to talk about it felt empowering. It felt really empowering until it didn't. And it hit me that, oh my God, what have I done? And I thought, I'm going to be a Walmart greeter. That was before COVID, just before. I thought no one would hire me. And then COVID happened. And then I walked into Kroger and asked for a job at ClickList. making $11. This is 2020, making $11.20 an hour, 20 to 30 hours a week in 2020. It just turned 2025, ladies. And I had no health insurance, no car, nothing of my own. And I didn't know what I was going to do. And I was so ashamed of myself, so sad. And when I walked in, I asked for the manager, and she goes, "Oh my God, I know you from television. You want to talk about humbling?" Here I was begging her for $11.20 an hour job. I didn't know how I was going to eat. Thank God for Wade. I met him. Thank God for Wade. I had nowhere to go. Did you guys know that's how I didn't go on a date with Wade? How awful, right? Never told anyone that. My kids know that. Met him at the gym, seemed like a really nice guy, didn't have anywhere to go. He goes, "I got a bedroom, let's go, move in." And I fell in love with him. I told my daddy the other day, I said, he goes, "Man, Wade is a good man, isn't he?" I said, "Yeah, he is." I said, "Daddy, I didn't choose him." He goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "It was an accident." I said, "I can't take any credit for it because it was a pure accident." And Dad laughed. He goes, "I think that's how I got your mama too." He goes, "It wasn't because I made a good choice." He said, "God had some mercy on me." He said, "Because I made a lot of bad choices." He said, "It was an accident." you know? So, and here I am, and here I am. We bought our first house because of the business we built helping others in July, right? Of 2024. Starting a fitness business over the age of 50. Never been fit in my life. So I'm going to tell you, I've told you that story because I want you to believe in yourself. I love you, ladies. I've kept you way too long. But listen, I'm nothing special. You guys come on here and say, I want to do like you did. I want to be like you did. Do things like you did, Allie. All you got to do is fight for yourself and believe in yourself. And when you do, it's like make good choices for yourself. And when you do, it's crazy. Awesome things just happen. Awesome things just happen. They do. You don't know how you're going to make it. And awesome things just happen. But you got to believe and you got to push and you got to fight for yourself and you got to keep your head in the game. And you'll want to quit, but you can't quit on yourself anymore. Bye, ladies. Way too long. Thanks for hanging with me. I love y'all. Good night.